Love is mischief, then.
No. Love is...
Hey everyone, it's been a while. A lot of personal stuff has been going on lately and I kinda just needed some space, you know? Yeah, you get it, but that's not why you're here. You're here because the hit Marvel television program Loki just wrapped up. And the show was a phenomenal triumph for the MCU and fans alike. That, or you absolutely hated it and you're here to take a shit in the comment section and drop a dislike. Either way, welcome to... So today we're going to be talking about Marvel's Loki, the latest addition to their collection of heart-racing, ball-busting films and television shows. So I feel that I should start this off by saying that I was not excited for Loki.
Oh, this is absurd.
For some reason, everyone was excited about the show, but I just wasn't. So, in my opinion, Marvel has a weird habit of beating a dead horse, and with stories about Loki and Vision and Black Widow coming out recently, all stories about characters that have already died, it looked like they were continuing their trend. Okay, so at the time of writing this, I have not seen Black Widow, so I can't judge that. But I have seen Loki. It seems as though Marvel has found a way to revive a dead character, but make him feel like a completely different character, but still the same character. You know what I mean, you get it. Anyways, today we're talking about Loki, and why it's the best Marvel show yet. I really think they did something great, something unique, wacky, thrilling, heartfelt, and mischievous. But it's not the action that got to me, it wasn't the adventure, it wasn't the mystery, and it wasn't classic Loki. Though all of those things were great, especially classic Loki. At the end of the day, love is what got me. Something I felt Marvel has always struggled with is love. Sure, you've got Tony and Pepper and Steve and Peggy, Wanda and Vision, and that's about it. Marvel has never really used love as the focal point of a story, excluding WandaVision. Even looking at WandaVision though, I think this story handles love better. I'm not just talking about the butterflies in your stomach type of love, I'm talking about all types of love. So today we'll be looking at the ways in which Loki handles love. But before we do that, if I could have your attention for just a tad bit longer before we begin, that'd be great. Loki is mischievous, we know this. That's what makes a Loki a Loki. But if mischief is what makes a Loki, would gas prices be considered a Loki? That's right folks, I too am being killed by gas prices. So if you're able, please consider donating to the Patreon. We've got some pretty cool rewards over there, but no matter how much you donate per month, your name will be in the credits of every video. So if that sounds interesting to you, go check out the KYD Patreon. Link is in the description below. Thank you, now let's get into the video.
Do you really think you deserve to be alone? Loki!
Do you really believe you deserve to be alone? I don't know. Then you better figure it out quick.
You can be whoever, whatever you want to be, even someone good. I mean, just in case anyone ever told you different.
I know it's rare for me to give such high praise to the MCU, but I gotta hand it to them. Starting the show off with Loki from 2012 was a bold move. 2012 Loki, who has undergone absolutely no character development since the Battle of New York. So we basically get Loki in his most mischievous, backstabbing, diabolical form. It's bold to start a show off with a character like that, but they handled it masterfully. We finally get a peek into the mind and motive of the God of Mischief, and it's perhaps the most insight we've ever gotten on the character. We learn that Loki feels unloved, weak, and ultimately alone. Loki feels that he deserves to be alone, which is why it's so, what's the word, cute? Is cute the word I'm looking for? That's why it's so damn cute when Loki develops a friendship with Mobius. The friendship formed between Loki and Mobius seems so unlikely, yet feels so natural. From the outside looking in, it appears as though Loki is trying to manipulate Mobius and vice versa. But as we see the relationship develop, we find something special. Mobius, unlike anyone else, was finally able to open Loki's eyes. Throughout Loki's life, he's always thought that he was destined to rule, always thought his glorious purpose was to stand above those kneeling. He shows Loki that he, despite the TVA's villainous attempts, can change, and that he can be good. Now this is when we see something curious, something odd, something different. Loki returns the favor. He opens Mobius's eyes and genuinely tries to help him. Not because it benefits Loki, not because their interests are aligned. Loki helps Mobius purely because he cares for Mobius. Something Loki has never really done before. He's never really had a real friend. Every time Loki does something, it either benefits him or it's for a cause in which Loki believes. But there was none of that here. Loki helped Mobius because for the first time, he found a friend that he cares about, a friend he would give a hug, a friend whom he loves.
Love is a dagger. It's a weapon to be wielded far away or up close. You can see yourself in it. It's beautiful. Until it makes you bleed. But ultimately, when you reach for it,
It isn't real.
I must admit, when the show first started, I never expected it to turn into a love story. We've never really seen Loki express love or affection for anyone except his family. He's never been in love, never shown interest in anyone, never even kissed anyone. Loki tends to look down on everyone, so naturally, no one is good enough for him. So, what do you do with a narcissistic prince whose standards for love are way too high? Make him fall in love with himself. What a brilliant concept, right? Loki falling in love with a female Loki is just, well, it's just perfect. From start to finish, the relationship between Loki and Sylvie is a passionate, intense, furiously janky roller coaster. It only makes sense that it'd be that way considering how mischievous Loki normally is. So the concept works well, but does it play out? Because if done poorly, this could easily put Loki in an unappealing light. Don't worry though, it worked quite well. When they started hinting at mutual romantic interest between these two characters, I wasn't too big on the idea. I just wanted the show to focus on Loki, not Loki and his love interest. Oh boy though, was I wrong. Making the show a fantasy mystery romance was one of the best decisions they could have made. Through Sylvie, we're able to explore more of what makes Loki a Loki. She's diabolical, clever, witty, but most importantly, she too feels alone. So Loki and Sylvie, two beings, two Lokis who utterly feel alone, find love in each other. It's beautiful, man. It's adorable seeing Loki nervous around her. But one part of Loki, one of my favorite parts of Loki, stuck out to me. Loki uses the analogy of a dagger to explain love. It's used from a distance or up close. You can see yourself in it. It's beautiful until it makes you bleed. But ultimately, when you reach for it, it's not real. Love is an imaginary dagger. I think the scene beautifully foreshadows the final events of this season. So in the final battle, Loki and Sylvie debate on whether or not they should kill He Who Remains, who is a variant of Kang. That's awesome, by the way. I cannot wait to see more of him. Loki battles Sylvie to keep her from killing He Who Remains.
What are you doing?
Sylvie, hang on a moment.
Loki finally tells Sylvie how he feels.
I don't want a throne. I just want you to be okay.
Sylvie kisses Loki. Now keep in mind, Sylvie is someone who Loki can see himself in, as she is a variant of himself. So anyway, Sylvie kisses Loki and it's beautiful until she betrays him, until she sacrifices her love for Loki to accomplish her mission. So in the end, when Loki reached for that love, it disappeared. Love is an imaginary dagger. It felt almost Shakespearean, which I appreciate. Their relationship was exciting, beautiful, awkward, and ultimately heartbreaking, like a dagger to the chest.
I crave attention. Because I'm a narcissist. And I suppose it's because I'm scared of being alone.
You really think you deserve to be alone?
I think we're stronger than we realize.
You can be whoever, whatever you want to be, even someone good.
So besides all the ooey gooey mushy love and shit and the buddy cop vibes, what else is there? I think it's time to talk about Loki's most important theme, self-love. Loki and self-love are two things that I never thought would be put together. Now you may be thinking, Loki obviously loves himself, and to that I say, I don't think so. Within this show, let alone the entirety of the MCU, we see the opposite. Loki sees himself as weak, alone, and frankly, pathetic. Throughout the runtime of this show, however, we see that change. We see Loki come to the understanding that he doesn't have to be weak, alone, or pathetic. Loki finally sees that he is stronger than what he thinks. He sees that he is lovable, that he is not alone. Loki finds himself falling in love, building friendships, trusting allies, but most importantly, Loki finds himself finally growing as a person. Loki finally changes. I think that's possibly the greatest takeaway you could get from this show. We are stronger than we think we are. We are not alone, nor do we deserve to be alone. Loki shows us that not only can we change, not only can we find love, and not only are we not alone, but that we are strong, that we can move forward. It's encouraging, you know? I loved Loki. The motivating cinematography, the talented acting, the goofy yet touching story beats, the relationship between Loki and Sylvie. I loved it all. It was fresh, it was exhilarating, it was moving, it was, dare I say, perfect for me.